Hello friends, it's Prajwal Pathak this side and you're watching my YouTube channel Pi Guru. Friends, in the last few tutorials of this CartoPy series, we learned how can we plot maps using CartoPy in Python. Okay, moving further, in this video, we are going to learn about how can we highlight some particular country on a map. Suppose I want to highlight India on the map, so we'll learn how can we do that in this tutorial. Okay, so let's get started with the coding part of this tutorial. So see here we are going to use few modules. So I suppose before watching this video that you have already watched the previous videos of this series, so it will be easy to understand what we are going to do in this video, a particular tutorial. See here we are going to import few libraries. So import cartopy.crs as ccrs, import cartopy.features as cf. We have already worked with these two modules in Python. The new module that we are going to use in this tutorial is cartopy.io.shapereader. So it will help us to read a shape file. What is a shape file? We'll learn about it later in the later part of this video. So import cartopy.io.shapereader as SSP reader. You can see this name is quite long, so we can just shorten it using the as statement. And here we have passed SSP reader. You can give it a name, even your name. Then import matplotlib.pyplot as plt and import matplotlib.patheffects as p. And I suppose you haven't heard the name of this module. Don't worry, we are going to use it to highlight the name. Okay, so first of all, let's try to plot a map. So let's see how can we do it. So first of all, plt.figure, we are going to give the figure size. So figure size equals 10 by 8. So what it means that whatever plot we are going to plot in this video will be of 10 by 8 inches. Okay, the next thing is let's create a set of axes. ax.plt.axis equals we have to pass a projection here. We have already learned about all these things in the previous videos, so I'm not explaining all these in details. So plate carry, yep, done. And the next thing is plt.show. So if I just run this, you will find that it will plot an empty map in front of us and nothing will be displayed on that map. So let it get executed. See here we are getting an empty map here because we haven't added any feature. Okay, and also we have learned in the previous video how can we add features in the maps. It's very easy. add feature like this. So there are a few things that we are going to add. So first of all, we'll add the coastlines. So sorry, coastlines. So yep, this thing here we are going to pass the line style as dash dash, a simple dash. Okay, and then alpha of, let's say, pass 0.5. sounds good. Now let me just copy it. So what this line will do, this will add the coastlines on the map. So here we do not need this thing. Okay, so we are just going to remove all these things. So let's just remove this thing, and so first of all we have added the coastline, next added the borders, and next added the add land, and finally add the oceans on the map. And finally one more thing that we are going to add is ax.stockimg. This will add a background to our map. So let's run it, and this time we should get a map in front of us with continents and the country borders. LANDA, it will be land. Okay, so my fault, sorry. So let it get executed, and this time we should get a map. So here's the map, working fine. What we have to learn in this tutorial is how can we highlight some particular country on this map. So suppose I want to highlight Russia, so this will highlight Russia in blue color or whatever color you define. If you want to highlight India, it will highlight the India from the map. Okay, like this. So let's see how can we do it. But before that, we'll going to crop the map a little. So how can we crop it? See, there is no. Let me just again run it so I can tell you what I'm going to do. This thing I don't like. It takes quite a time on my system. It's see, there's no country is Antarctica, so what we can do, we can simply crop Antarctica from this whole map. How can we do it? We have already learned in the previous video. Okay, so I'm not explaining it quite much. I hope you have watched those previous videos. So ax.set extent, basically we are going to pass coordinates from of this particular rectangle. Okay, we are not going to include Antarctica, and if you want to know how I'm passing this array values, you can check out the previous video. Okay, of adding features to a cartoon pie map. There we have learned how can we crop maps. So let's just again run it, and this time on the map there will be there won't be the Antarctica. So let's run it. Yep, it's not there. See, Antarctica is no longer there in the map. It's good. Then let's go with the save file. Now first of all, before running this thing, you should know what a save file is. See, like we store text data in text file, CSV file, JSON file, or images in JPG or PNG files. Okay, similarly we add the shape and size of countries or a particular area or a region of a map in a save file. Okay, the save file extension is I think SHP. Yeah, yes, something like this, and this is generally used to store the area and shape of a certain region. Okay, so we are going to read a save file. In this video we are going to the save file that we are going to read is automatically will get downloaded automatically, so we do not have to do anything. But in the next video we'll learn how can we read our custom save files. So let's do this part first. So we are going to create a first of all we are going to download a save file. Okay, so SHP file name equals C. Inside this module SHP reader we have a function called the natural earth. Okay, and natural earth is a website which maintains the save files of countries, areas, or regions. So you can just visit this website, which is naturalearth.org or .com I think. Okay, inside this we have to pass several values. So first of all is the resolution. You have to pass 110 meter here. The next thing you have to pass is category, and inside it you have to pass cultural, and the next thing that we have to pass is I think name. Okay, so name will be admin, sorry, and then the 0 and the underscore countries. Yep, so you have to pass these three values inside the SHP shape reader dot natural earth. Okay, what it will do, it will download a save file on the system. So for this particular line you have to get connected with the internet for the first time, and then after that it will work offline. See here I am offline and it will work because once it had already downloaded the save file. The next thing that we are going to do is read the save file. So reader equals SHP reader, this is your module name. Okay, and inside this we have a function reader, and you have to pass the file name here. So the file name is SHP file name. So we are just going to pass the file name here. Then it will read the file and store it in the reader variable, and now from the reader variable we are going to extract all the records. So all the records of each country. So we are going to create another variable countries, and you have to pass reader dot records here. Okay, it's a function which will iterate through the reader variable and extracts all the instances of this of all the countries, okay, from the save files. So it's good. If you do not understand, don't worry, just write these 3 lines. Okay, this thing it like this countries is an iterator. We can apply a for loop on this. You have to just think it like this. Okay, good. And when you will run it, you will require internet for this particular line, because it will download a save file from natural earth website automatically. You do not have to do anything, it will automatically download it. So don't worry, just get connected with internet for the first time. Now let's create a variable cname, and see, one thing you can do is you can just try printing countries. Okay, and it will print a huge amount of data on the here screen when you will run it. So I'm not going to just show it because it will take a quite lot of time to print it on the screen, so I'm not doing it. You can try it. Okay, so we are going to apply for loop on this. In a variable we have stored India currently because I want to highlight India. So we are going to apply a for loop on this countries. Okay, for country in countries. What we are going to do, if country dot attributes. Now see what from where all these things are coming. These are part of this particular save file. Okay, so this is not like that every save file will be like this. So So country dot attributes, inside it you have to pass the name, but generally all save files are in this format. So each save file has an attribute, and here we are going to use the attribute and match it with our cname variable. Okay, so if if any of the country has this name, India, so what we are going to do, we are just going to print it. Print let's say country. Okay, let me remove this thing, plt.show part, and let's run it, and we should get some data printed on our screen, if I'm not wrong. Okay, it will be something like an array with the data of India, shape and size of India, and few other data. So let's it get printed so I can show you. And after that we will try to highlight it on the map. Oops, I think I haven't added the break statement here. But it shouldn't affect. See, it's taking quite long time on my system because my system specifications are not very high. That's why it's taking time, but on your system it will be fast. Okay, so don't worry about this part. And Sublime text unregistered. Wait a minute. Let me drink water. So we are quite close to the end of this video. It should work. Why it's taking time this much? Let me just refresh it. Yep, so we have got the output here. See, it's an array. You will see a lot of numbers here. So record multi-polygon. See here, it's simply storing the coordinates of each turning points of the shape of India. Okay, it's something like this. You can just see this, and then there are certain names, feature, CLA, scalar rank. I don't know what all these things are, but just know that these are the things that will be printed. Okay, so postal is IND, name in TR is Hindustan, India, and there are a lot of things which I do not understand what all these things are, and these are of no use to us because we are interested in just highlighting the part. Okay, so this will happen if you print the country. You can try your any country here. Okay, so the next thing is we are going to highlight it on the map. So let me just uncomment it. Ax dot add geometry. Okay, geometry, I think spelling is correct, but it will be geometries, I think. Yes, ax dot add geometries. So country dot geometry. Yep, it's working fine. And the next thing is ccrs dot plate carry. You have to pass this thing here, and the next thing that you have to pass is the face color, which will be 0, 0, 1. And the next thing is that you have to pass is a label. The label will be country dot attributes. You can just pass cname here. Okay, and the next thing is yep, it's enough. So these are things that you'll pass here. So let me just run it. Before that, let's apply the break statement here and see. Suppose if this particular country is not found, then we are simply going to print like this: cannot locate the country. You can give any statement that you want. So let's just run it, and this would highlight India on the world map. So let it get executed. So let's see if it's working fine or not. Then we will have to work or type in. See here, we are successfully able to locate India on the world map. Okay, we are able to highlight it. It's in blue color. You can pass any color name here. 001 RGB. Okay, so R is 0, G is 0, and so B value is 1. That's why it's showing in the blue color. If you pass 100, it will be red in color. If you pass 010, it will be green in color. You can just pass any tuple value here, face color here. So everything is fine. What I want is that the name India should also be displayed on the on their particular country. Okay, so for that we are going to do a few things. So we are going to create a x variable, and here we are going to let me just uncomment it and just run it again, so show you what I'm going to do. We only have to add text here, so don't worry. See, here we have India. What I wanted, India should also be written here. So first of all, we are going to find out the centroid of this particular shape of India. So the x centroid and the y centroid, and then we are going to add text on that particular centroid. So let's see how can we do it. X equals country dot geometry dot centroid dot x. Okay, so it will find the x centroid and store it in the x variable. Same we are going to do it in the country dot geometry dot centroid dot y. If you do not understand what is a centroid is simply you can think it like this as a center. Okay, now we are going to add text. How can you add text in matplotlib? Ax dot text method. Okay, so where we have to add the x comma y position. Okay, these two variables are storing the position of the centroid of India. Good. The next thing that we have to add is the particular text, so you can simply pass cname here. Okay, you can add instead of cname you can pass country dot attributes dot name. Let's just pass this thing, it will be more better. So here let's replace it with this, and here also let's replace with this. Okay, basically these two things if are equal will store the same thing. Okay, that's why I passed cname here, but let's pass country dot attribute dot name. Okay, now the next thing is the color of the text. It will be red. You can give it any color name. Then size, you can pass any value. I will pass 8. Okay, the HA will be center, the VA will be center 2. So you have to just pass it like this, center. The next thing that we have to pass is transform. If I'm not correct, transformation or transform. Let's see, I have already created the script here, so let me just verify it if it's correct or not. Transform. Okay, so it's correct. So equals ccrs dot plate carry. You have to just pass it like this. Everything's fine. Then you have to pass one more thing here. Let's just do it like this, and let's just run it. Okay, and it should do the thing. It should print India. It should write India on the center of the India. So let's just see it. See, we are getting in highlighted India highlighted, and we are also getting India written here. We can just little highlight it more using the path effects. So let's see how can we use it. You have to just pass it like this. Path effects equals I think it will be path underscore effects. Okay, let me just do it in the new line. Path effects equals in square bracket path or sorry, PE. We have imported it as PE. Okay, so we have to pass it as PE dot. Okay, so PE dot with stroke. Everything is going fine. I think we will have to pass a line width here. Line width in my case will be 5. Okay, face color I think sorry, foreground will be K. Foreground will be K, and the final thing that we have to pass is if I'm not wrong is alpha. Alpha will be 0.5. Is everything fine? Yes, looks so. So let's just run it, and this time we should get India text highlighted a little more. Let me just drink water. Now if you are able to see, you can see a little background of the, here behind India there's a little background. Okay, it might not be visible. Just try running it and you will be able to see it. And to increase the text size, what you can do is you can pass more something here, like size. You can increase size by 10, 12, 15, whatever you want. And if if no country is able to get located, will get cannot locate the country. Okay, now let's do this thing. You can just try this thing. Apply the input function, enter country name. See, we have completed our script. Enter country name, and here we are going to take the user input. Whatever value user will pass, it will get shown on the map. Okay, so just we have to do this thing. Country dot, let's apply the title method here. Title method, just capitalize the first letter of the country name. Okay, so even if we pass a smaller I in India, it will still show the same country. So let's try highlighting Russia, and let's pass Russia, and it should highlight Russia on the world map. So Russia gets highlighted, working fine. Let's try locating Canada. So for this we have to again run it. Canada, and let's run it, and Canada should get highlighted. So Canada is got highlighted. You can just highlight Greenland, you can highlight Brazil, you can highlight Australia, anything you can highlight. So let's again verify it by highlighting Japan. So this is how you can locate countries on the world map using see here I have passed a small j here, but to match we have to capitalize it. That's why we have applied the title method. Okay, I think Japan. See here, Japan is getting highlighted here. You can increase the text size by passing some other value here. So this is how you can do this. Hope you learned something new. In next tutorial we'll learn how can we read custom shape files in Cartopy. Okay, so this is it guys. If you love this video, leave a like or a dislike. If you're new to my channel, subscribe it. Thank you. See you in the next video.